Satkundalam Gokule Brajamanam Yashoda Biyolukhaladavanam Paramrishtam Atyanta Todrutya Gopya Rudantam Muhurnetra Yugmam Rijantam Karamboja Yugmena Satanka Netram Muhushvasakam Patrirekanka Kanta Sitai Gravam Damodaram Bhakti Badam Itidriksva lilla bir ananda kunde Svagosham nimajjantam akyapayantam Tadiyeshitagesho bhaktarjitvatvam Puna prematastam shatavritivande Varam deva moksham nam moksham vadim vam Nachanyam vrineham vareshadapiha Idam te vapunata gopala balam Sada me manasya virastam kimanyai Idam te mukambojam antyantanillar Vritam kuntalai snigdaraktaischa gopya Muhuh chumbita bimbaraktandarame Manasya virastam alam lakshalabai Namo Deva Damodarananta Vishnu Prasida praboduka jalabdi magnam. Kripa drishti vrishyati dinam batanu. Grihane shamam agyam edyakshi drishya. Kuveratma jalbatham motyaiva yadvat. Tvaya mochita bhakti bhajau kritvalcha. Tata prema bhaktim svakam me prayacha. Namokshe graho mesti damodareha. Namaste stodamne sporadipti dhamne. Tvadiyodarayatha vishwasya damne. Namo radhikayai tvadiya priyayai. Namo nanta lilaya devaya tobhyam. Namami svaram sachit anandarupam. Lasat kundalam gokule brajamanam. Yashoda biyoloka ladavamanam. Param rishtam atyantato drutya gopya. Hare Krišna, Hare Krišna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krišna, Hare Krišna, Krišna Krišna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krišna, Hare Krišna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayo Radha Damodara, Radha Damodara, Radha Damodara, Shri Radhe. Radha Damodara, Radha Damodara, Radha Damodara, Shri Radhe. Jayo Radha Damodara, Radha Damodara, Radha Damodara, Shri Radhe. Radha Damodara, Radha Damodara, Radha Damodara, Shri Radhe. Jai Shri Shri Radha Damodara ki jai. Pusti, pusti, primero to. Pusti, pusti. To ni zakrog.
Mao Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Shimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Kauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Shunyavadi Paskatyade Satarine. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Brahmadakacharya Asadhara Sadhushi Shiman His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Raj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai For Premanande Haribol Slava Zabrani Bhaktam Slava Shri Guru Shri Grangi. Om Agyanatvanandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshur Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Parakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Scha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sarvaitam Savadutam Prajana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vasakan Vitam Sha Hey Krishna Karna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchena Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Prishubhanu Sudha Devi Pranamami Hri Priye Vanchakapa Trivyascha Kripa Sindhuvyevacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Pranityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 3, text number 38. Dumena Vriyate Vanir Yatardarsho Malena Cha Yato Benavrito Garbhas Tata Tenedam Avritam Dimena Vriyate Vanir Yatardarsho Malena Cha Yato Benavrita Garbhas Tata Tenedam Avritam. Shomalena cha Yato Benavritar Garbhas Tatatenedam Avritam Dumena Vriyate Vanir Tardar Shomalena cha Yata Benavritar Garbhas Tatenedam Avritam. Ladies, little louder. Dumena Vriyate Vanir Yatardarsho Malena Cha Yato Benavritar Garbhas Tatatenedam Avritam. Dumena by smoke Avriyate is covered. Vani fire. Yata just as. Adarshaha, Mira, Malena, by dust, Cha, also, Yata, just as, Ulbena, by the womb, Avritaha, is covered, Garabha, embryo, Tata, so, Tena, by that lust, Idam, this, Avritam, is covered. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. As fire is covered by smoke, as the mirror is covered by dust, or as the embryo is covered by the womb, the living entity is similarly covered by different degrees of this lust. Purport. There are 3 degrees of covering of the living entity, by which his pure consciousness is obscured. This covering is but lust under different manifestations, like smoke and fire, dust on the mirror, and the womb about the embryo. When lust is compared to smoke, it is understood that the fire of the living spark can be a little perceived. In other words, when the living entity exhibits his Krishna consciousness slightly, he may be likened to the fire covered by smoke. Although fire is necessary where there is smoke, there is no overt manifestation of fire in the early stage. This stage is like the beginning of Krishna consciousness. The dust on the mirror refers to a cleansing process of the mirror of the mind by so many spiritual methods. The best process is to chant the holy names of the Lord. The embryo covered by the womb is an analogy illustrating a helpless position. For the child in the womb is so helpless that he cannot even move. This state of living condition can be compared to that of the trees. The trees are also living entities, but they have been put into such a condition of life by such a great exhibition of lust that they are almost void of all consciousness. The covered mirror is compared to the birds and beasts, and the smoke-covered fire is compared to human beings. In the form of a human being, the living entity may revive a little Krishna consciousness, and if he makes further development, the fire of spiritual life can be kindled in the human form of life. By careful handling of the smoke and the fire can be made to blaze. Therefore, the human form of life is a chance for the living entity to escape the entanglement of material existence. In the human form of life, one can conquer the enemy, lust, by cultivation of Krishna consciousness under able guidance. Dimena vriyateva niryatar darsho malena cha ito benavrito garabas tatatenevam avritam. Namo Vishnu Vadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswatam Deve Gauravani Vicharane Nirvishesha Srinivadi Paskatyade Sadarane. What Krishna is describing in the Bhagavad Gita, we all have personal experience of. It's not that. Not everything he describes. I mean, as far as Mahavishnu breathing out the universes, maybe most of us don't have experience of that. Except we hear now, we're somewhere, it didn't come out of nothing. So it's much more logical that the universe came out of the breathing of Mahavishnu than coming out of nothing. Because from nothing, nothing comes. Now, as far as these practical instructions about being an illusion, that doesn't take that much of intelligence to see that we're an illusion. That our bodies are constantly changing, but we're always the same. But because of our limited state of experience, therefore we don't see much beyond the body. We may not be the body, but that's the only thing we have. A blind uncle is better than no uncle, they say. Since the only thing we have is this body to experience, therefore we're quite attached to the body. Only when we can get some other experience beyond the body can actually we give up this body. Sometimes people have out-of-body experiences. You've heard that before? Where the subtle body leaves the gross body, especially if someone has an accident sometimes, or they're in a hospital, they're being operated on, and in their subtle body, they float above their body, and they see the operation going on. Although they're seemingly unconscious, but actually in their subtle body, they remain conscious. Just as at night, in our subtle body, at least mentally, we go to different places. Although it appears that the gross body is not doing anything, but the subtle body, we're making a trip somewhere. Therefore, lust, I think most people have experience of lust in this material world. If you forgot what it's like, just try to remember what it's like if you're hungry before there's a feast. That desire is not necessarily prema. And as far as greed, if anyone has ever overeaten, that may be a sign of greed. Maybe a sign of enthusiastically honoring prasadam, but it's just as likely to be greed. The tongue is very voracious and greedy. If something tastes good, the tongue wants more. It's not satisfied so easily. Except sometimes they have a feast of 108 preparations or more. And by the time you get up to the 12th preparation, everything starts tasting about the same. Sugar and ghee. But for the sake of, at least officially enjoying, we go on, try to get up to at least 50, just to show we can enjoy. As far as anger, well, I think we all have experienced at least frustration. So we ask someone to do something, and they don't do it. Or they do the opposite of what we ask them to do. Then we feel a little frustration. Like, you rascal. But all this culminates in illusion. Now we may think, illusion? I'm not an illusion. But actually we're in a walking illusion. We're floating around in an illusion. And in that illusion, we're imagining that we're this body, which is just a dream. And we think this body is something special comparison to other bodies. We think, oh, all the animals were better than them. The birds were better than them. Certainly were better than the insects. If we can take spray bottles, you rascal. We think we can deliver life and death to the insects at least. And as far as other human beings, we always find something to criticize others. Anything we can find, so we feel better than them. Mr. Patel is speaking, two Indian gentlemen are telling their friend about Mr. Patel, who has just become a high court judge. And the two friends said, that's not possible. I know Mr. Patel. He would they would never make him a high court judge. No, I saw it. I was in the high court today. And I saw Mr. Patel was sitting, and he was a high court judge. I saw it myself. No, that's not possible. No, I saw it. Yes. All right. Maybe he became a high court judge, but I'm sure they're not giving him any salary. So envy is such that we can't bear the fact that someone else may be absolutely better than we are. So what to speak of this tiny ourselves in this tiny little world we're living in? What to speak of a person who's categorically better than everyone combined? That's our envy goes from here. Who is this person? And then we find out he's a coward boy. Oh, you're right, a coward boy. Doesn't have any education. Doesn't even know, He has fruits. Brahma, the creator of the universe, finds him on the earth, and he has fruit salad in his left hand. He doesn't even know he's supposed to hold it in his right hand, and he's God, right? Of course he's God. He's God. He's God for these Aborigine coward men. But he's not our God. Our God wouldn't hold fruit salad in his left hand. He would have it at least in his right hand. So we're an illusion. We're thinking we're this body, and we're judging everything and everyone according to our material concepts of life. And we become convinced, the more one is educated in modern society, the bigger the fool one becomes. One becomes more and more thinking, just like that boatman, which I told the story the other day. You know the story of the boatman? Well, one scholar in Bengal, because in Bengal there's so many waterways and everyone travels by the water. So he was coming back after a conference, a big scholar. and he found one boatman to take him across the Ganges. So when they're on the boat, the scholar tells the boatman, "My dear boatman, do you know about the different stars, what their names are?" And the boatman says, "I don't know anything about stars. I just ply the boat. I'm illiterate." 25% of your life is wasted. What about all these trees and all these herbs on the bank of the Ganges? You must know their names. "I don't know anything, sir. I'm just an ignorant boatman." 50% of your life is wasted. Look at the sky. Do you know the names of the different clouds in the sky? "Sir, I never went to school. I know nothing about it." Oh, 75% of your life is wasted. Suddenly all these clouds gather around, and it gets very dark, and it starts raining. And the boat starts getting filled up with the water. And the boatman asks the scholar, "Sir, do you know how to swim?" And the scholar says, "No." And the boatman says, 100% of your life is wasted. So we may be very proud for some reason or another, thinking ourselves to be some designation. Everyone is in the material world, at least some people are mad after designations. The more letters you have to after your name or before your name, then the more you think that you're special in this world. Therefore, Queen Kundi said, "Janmaishwarya Shuta Shivira Edamanak Madakmaman Naivahatya Vidatum Vai Tvam Akinchana Gochara." That anyone who's mad after increasing, because after all, we're all born with a certain amount of opulence, but when we want to increase it, either it's our birth, Aishvarya, our wealth, Shruta, our material learning, and Shribir, our material influence, or beauty, that one who's anxious to increase these things, they become proud. Moha, they become under illusion, and the result is they can't chant Hare Krishna with any kind of feeling. They can't feel helpless, depending on Krishna, because they think they have so many other sources of protection. So this is the greatest impediment towards spiritual advancement, is to think that we have some kind of special protection. But ultimately, Deha Patya Kala Tradishu. In the material world, people get married, they have children, they have their pet dog, they have their house, and they consider the house to be their fortress, their children and their wife to be their soldiers. The commander is the dog. He's the head of the army. But these are all fallible soldiers, because even no one attacks us, still old age is, disease and death are always on the horizon. And therefore everyone is vanquished, everyone is defeated. Paravas, Tada, Abodha Jato, Yavan Gyanasita Atmatatvam. So, Nunam Pramata Kurute Vikarma Yadindriya Pritya Apinoti Nasara Manye Yat Atmano Yam Asanna Pikleshada Ashadeha. Indeed, Maharaj Rishabdev said, it's amazing that people are performing vikarmic activities, sinful activities to become happy, but actually they simply suffer life after life due to the fact that the body is afflicting them with all kinds of problems, and it's only temporary. Paravas tavat abodha jato yavan na jignasyata atmatatvam yavan kriyat tavati dhammanovai karmatvaka yena sharira bandhaha. So as long as one is not inquisitive about the absolute truth. In other words, we ourselves are no better than anyone else, any other living entity in this world, except that we have some inquisitiveness to know who we actually are. That is our only shelter and protection. Our only hope is that spark of inquisitiveness. Sometimes we have it more than others. We think, oh, why should I read this Bhagavad Gita? It's so boring, so philosophical. Why should I have to go through this? Let me find out something more interesting. Is there a Time magazine around here? Something a little bit more juicy than this boring philosophy. Then we lose our spark of interest in who we are. And our progress at that moment slows down to minus something. So Atma Prarava. So we're defeated by the material nature. Sometimes we're victorious, sometimes we're defeated. Paravas tavad abodha jata yavana jignasyata atma tatva. Sometimes we're inspired and we really want to know who we are and who Krishna is. I really want to know you. If there is a God, as George Harrison said, I really want to know you. But it takes so long. Therefore, philosophy is necessary to know that we're so fortunate that at least we have a uniform of life, although we're covered, but we have this spark of desire to find out who we actually are, what spiritual life actually is, what real life is, according to the Bhagavad Gita at least. And we have some idea that Yavana jignasita atmatat, Yavan kriyat tavat idam manovai, that our mind is covered. It's not pure. It's covered by so many desires. And therefore our consciousness is unclear. That's why we don't see things clearly. Still, evam manak karma samyunkte avidyamane pritirna yavan mai vasudeve namuchate deha yogena tadvat. So as long as one is not interested in spiritual life, evamana karma prasam prayukte avidyatman upadiyamane. As long as we're identifying ourselves with these upadis, with these material designations, so long as we haven't developed love for Vasudeva, evamana karma prasam prayukte avidyatman upadiyamane pritirna yavan mai vasudeve nimuchate deha yogena tadva. So we have to take one body after another. It's not a very good idea to do that. We should at least make an effort to get out of this Bali concept of life. I mean, if you think Kali Yuga is bad now, I hope you think Kali Yuga is bad. It's going to get a lot worse. The suffering is only increasing. Day after day, according to the Bhagavatam, tatasyanudinam dharma sattvam priya shamadama satyam socham dama satyam socham shamadaya. Day after day, religion is disappearing. Along with the religion, forgiveness, truthfulness, cleanliness, mercy, these are all disappearing. People are becoming less than animals. Balena Kalira Rajan, by the strong force of Kali Yuga, Nakshatyatya Pralam Smriti. People who lose all their good qualities, including their memory and their intelligence and their bodily strength. Therefore, being an illusion is not a good idea. Trying to get out of illusion is where it's at. Many people, at least some people, they want to get out of illusion and they just don't know how to do it. They don't know how to end their suffering. They want to end suffering. They realize they're suffering, but they don't know how to end it. Therefore, they're very good candidates for devotional service. Those who think they're enjoying the material world, or they have hopes for enjoyment, many people don't think they're enjoying, but they think if they can get one more credit card, they can buy what it will take to make themselves happy. There's only one credit card away from bliss. So they're being led like an ass. Ass had a carrot in front of it, and it sees the carrot, and it has a very big, heavy load on its back, but because it sees a carrot in front of it, it takes a step forward. And in spite of the heavy weight it's pulling. And then one more step, because it thinks it's only one step away. So it'll go for kilometers, pulling this heavy load, think one more step and I'll get the carrot. So everyone has been trained up to become an ass in modern society. Think I'm only one step, just one more thing and I can get, I'll be, just iPhone 17, no. So we've been trained like that. The whole world has been trained, especially the Western world, and even now the Aborigines, when they have television, they're finished. Because it's all based upon one thing, to make people lusty, get them greedy, take out their frustrations, and remain completely in illusion. And the people manipulating them, they want to make sure the last thing that they're going to get is real knowledge. Of course, luckily the demons are so much an illusion, and we're in so much an illusion too, that we don't really understand sometimes the value of what we have. That we have the only valuable thing. No amount of gold, no amount of fame, no amount of sense gratification, nothing can compare it to becoming conscious of Krishna. So we have to learn that and take advantage of that, or try to appreciate it at least. Otherwise, we're also suffering because we've been misled since birth for most of us, and therefore we also have this desire for some kind of material advancement will actually make us happy. And therefore sometimes the devotees even fight amongst each other because their egos get a little bit bruised. You don't think I'm the best? You don't think I'm nice? You don't love me? Well, I don't love you either. Let's fight. You don't deserve to breathe the same air I'm breathing. You don't love me. You don't love you don't love my body, then why should I love you, your body? Let's fight. Let's take it outside. So this is all due to our illusion. All the false ego gets empowered by lust, anger, greed, empowers the false ego that creates a bigger and better illusory life for ourselves that we become more and more attached to. And therefore, even when we hear some spiritual knowledge, our false ego is always ready to help us forget about it and act without intelligence. But if we're fortunate enough to remain in the association of devotees and have that spark of intelligence, of reality that we're actually the servant of Krishna, and attend the programs, chant Hare Krishna to the best of our ability, read Prabhupada's books, worship the deities, try to serve the devotees, try to make the atmosphere spiritual, then that spark will gradually grow, as it says here, turn into a fire of Krishna consciousness eventually. And we'll be able to be eligible to enter into the existence of bliss, of full consciousness forever, of love and bliss. But we have to qualify ourselves a little bit at a time. So we should wake up in the morning and think, thank Krishna, I have another day to make a little bit of progress. So I'll stop there. Thank you. Any questions? Everyone agrees completely? No more doubts? The whole material nature is just stood aside and now everything is clear. Anyhow, tomorrow's another day. For myself, the real challenge is sit down and prasadam and remember Krishna the whole time. Then I know I've conquered something. My mind a little bit. Okay. Hwala Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande.
this. No.